Not every communication needs to be done. And if you have the ability to make that decision, which we all ultimately do, it depends on what the consequences are we want to deal with. And a big part of that is always who's the audience that can help you achieve that desired outcome. The last part is understanding the risk and benefit of doing the communication. If you're in a situation where you're an employee, where you're being directed to it, it's still worth doing because it's good to understand what those benefits and risks are, because they could help you recognize future opportunities, but also risks that could land in your lap if things don't go right, and give you an opportunity to maybe make some edits and some corrections before the communication happens, or to be prepared for contingencies of things that could go wrong, and also things that can go right. So you walk through an analysis of, there's a spectrum that I'll use in this, whereas one side is like, is it something that should be done? The other end of that spectrum is no. And then in between, you kind of got, yeah, we got like an 80% chance of making this happen. And then at the opposite end, you got no, don't do this. And then slightly to the right, towards the middle of that spectrum, probably looking at like maybe a 20% chance of success. And then you kind of really have to sit back and like, okay, we don't have the budget. Maybe we have this piece, not that piece. And then the middle is usually kind of a toss-up. We don't know how it's going to turn out. And this is where really experience and wisdom will come into the play of making that go, no-go decision. These are different aspects to keep in mind. And sometimes the answer is no. Not every communication needs to be done. And if you have the ability to make that decision, which we all ultimately do, it depends on what the consequences are we want to deal with. But not every communication is equal. Not everyone matters. Not all of them should be done. And this applies the same as for our actions.